Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Sri Devendra Fadnavis ji, Professor Shetty, Nilesh, Shell, faculty members of IISM, students of IISM, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, I'd like to just say it's an absolute privilege to be here today at the 5th Convocation of IISM. I remember going with Nilesh when he took me, I think it was in the first year. It was in the first year he took me to interact with some of the students, and I think it was an institute and a course that was just starting out. And I remember interacting with the students and the kind of questions that they asked, and you know, just the interaction that I had with them. And I went away thinking that, you know, this is fantastic. This is fantastic that that Nilesh has been able to start something like this. Because this was obviously the crying need of what was to follow in Indian sport. I'd like to also just start by congratulating all the students, all of you who've graduated here today. All of you have chosen, I think in my opinion, to go out of the ordinary, to pursue your passion, to pursue something different. The normal course would have been to, you know, try and become an engineer, to become a doctor, to become a CA. But I think it takes guts and it takes courage to follow your passion and your dream. And obviously, for a lot of you, sport has been a dream. So congratulations to all of you. Congrats to my friend Nilesh as well for starting IISM and having the vision and even picking it up 5 years ago that something like this was going to be very, very important in India. And again, I think it takes courage, it takes a level of risk to be able to do something like this, to be able to pull it off and to pull it off so successfully for 5 years. Congratulations to you, Nilesh, and very well done. As Professor Shetty put it, you know, very rightly, I think there are so many opportunities today in the sports industry, and it's growing all the time. I mean, when we look at the IPL, we look at the ISL, you know, the Pro Kabaddi, there are probably 10 or 12 leagues just existing in India. There's so many infrastructure projects in and around sport that exist today. There's so much about player management as more and more, as Professor Shetty put it, more and more sports are becoming popular. There are more and more athletes who are going to need professional management. And these are things that probably, I guess, you've heard all the time. I think this is things that people have told you, that this is a growing market and this is an exciting time to be in the sports industry. I think all of you have heard these things. What I would like to tell you though, and I would, through my experience in sport, maybe just try and tell you what I think it's going to take to be able to succeed in this industry and what it's going to take. Firstly, I think one of the most important things is going to be patience and perseverance over this period of time. You know, I don't think, as there are many opportunities in this industry, it's not like, and I think Professor Shetty put it rightly, it's not like people are banging on your doors giving you employment. It's going to be a lot of hard yards that are going to be required to be done by all of you young students here today as you go out into the industry. There's going to be a lot of work for which you maybe feel that you're overqualified to do. It's an industry where, if you think about it, running a sports event, an engineer could come in and probably, you know, do your job. You couldn't go out and do an engineer's job because you wouldn't be qualified for it. That's not to frighten you, but that's just to tell you what the realities of the situation are. If you think about a cricketer, I mean, if you think about a cricketer, and Nilesh and me have been lucky to be, you know, had the opportunity to play for India. A cricketer doesn't just walk out of a cricket academy and play for India. It takes years and years of hard work. It takes sometimes starting at the age of 10 and 11, playing under 14 cricket, going to zonal camps, playing under 16 cricket, you know, going through the length and breadth of this country, sometimes traveling in unreserved compartments in second class, and then learning and slowly growing, playing Ranji Trophy cricket. It takes 5 or 6 years of sustained performance in the Ranji Trophy to be able to finally, if you're performing in a very, very competitive field, get an opportunity to play for India. Even when you do get that opportunity to play for India, the competition is intense. You suddenly start competing with the rest of the world. You sometimes get 2, 3, 4 opportunities to be able to make your mark. And if, you know, you're lucky like Nilesh Kulkarni, you sometimes get a wicket in the first ball that you actually bowl in international cricket. If you're unlucky like Nilesh Kulkarni, you spend the next 2 days chasing the ball, hoping to get another wicket. So no one knows the vagaries of sport better than Nilesh Kulkarni does. So in short, I think it takes a long time to build a career in cricket, or for that matter, whether it may be medicine. And I think my wife never forgets to remind me this, that, you know, after studying in 12th standard, you've spent 5 years doing an MBBS degree, then you spend 1 year doing an internship, then you spend 1 year in rural service, then you spend 3 years doing a postgraduate course, and another year in a village somewhere, you know, and then finally after that, you get an opportunity to maybe work in a hospital and get a room of your own. So it takes a long time to grow in this, in any profession that you were to choose. And I think this profession is going to be no different. It's going to take a lot of time. One of the things I will say though, I think it's very, very important and very, very critical that all of you do the extra bit and go and do the extra yard. There's always a job profile and a job description that all of us are given, and all of you, when you go out in the industry, you're always going to be given a job profile. This is what I'm expected to do. These are the hours I'm supposed to work. I think to make a success of anything in life, you've got to be able to do that extra bit, to go outside of what is expected of you, to do what we call the 1%ers, just a little bit extra. You know, everyone, Vikram mentioned the 281, the test match that, you know, VVS Lakshman had that brilliant, you know, played that brilliant innings, and I had that partnership with him, and we batted the whole day in Eden Gardens. And everyone talks about that. You know, one of the things that, for me, that stands out in that particular test match was the fact that Sachin Tendulkar, though, if you were to call his job description, it would have been to, you know, bat the whole day or to score a lot of runs for us. It was Sachin who took 3 wickets on that 5th day to help us win that particular test match. And that's what I'm saying, that you need to be able to have that extra skill, do something different, do something out of the ordinary to be able to stand out in this industry and in the workplace that you're going to find yourself in. The other thing that I think that all of you are going to encounter, I think, is failure. You know, there's no doubt about it that when you go out into the industry, when you go out to work, there is going to be a certain amount of failure that all of you are going to face. And I think that's not such a bad thing. In fact, I think that most batsmen, and I think every batsman in this world, including the great Sachin Tendulkar, has probably failed in more innings than they have actually succeeded. And I think it's not that you fail that is the issue. It's your attitude to the failure that is the most important thing. How do you react to that failure? Do you see the failure as a learning experience, or do you see a failure as something that pulls you down? I think in every failure is an opportunity for you to grow and to learn from it. And I think you're going to see a lot of it. And it's just how you react to that failure, I think, is going to decide whether you're going to make a fist of it in this industry or not. I'd just like to finish by sharing the Praveen Tambe story. And I love using this story a lot. You know, everywhere I go now, people tell me, oh, Praveen Tambe, what a exceptional story, what an incredible story. You know, he became an instant success at the age of 42. You guys picked him out of nowhere and he became a success. And I always never fail to remind them that, you know, Praveen is someone who spent maybe 25 years in the Maidans of Mumbai, bowling day after day, wheeling his arm over, bowling in the most difficult conditions, you know, playing no hope of reward, but never ever losing faith in his ability, never ever losing faith in his dream. You know, to constantly believing that, you know, he had a future. He loved playing, he loved bowling, and he kept persevering at it. At 42, he finally got an opportunity to be able to actually show his skills. And in the last 2 years, the last 3 years in the IPL have been an incredible journey and an incredible story for him. But it's not just happened instantly. It's happened by 25 years of hard work, of perseverance, of patience, of effort, of dedication. And I think that's what all of you are going to need. All of you are going to need many, many years of hard work, patience, perseverance in this industry. And if you enjoy it and if you've made the choice to work in this industry, it's an incredibly fulfilling industry. It's a great industry to be a part of. Sport is, you know, for all of us, it's a passion, and to be able to make that a profession is truly a blessing. But it's not going to be easy. I hope that all of you will stick with it, will persevere, and follow your dreams and enjoy the journey. Thank you so much.